Right, there we go. Right, that is now all sorted. Right, what are we doing today? We are starting obviously the first session of Kings of War. Today, I need to sort out underneath this. And today we are going to just start off with some simple stuff. So we are going. Obviously, this is stuff I've already started. That was for some previous stuff I was doing. But we're going to be starting to build up all the bases. Primarily today. Get some painted on. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If all goes so we have that. I'll have to apologise about the chair. There's not much I can actually do about that. I need to get a new one at some point. But yeah. So we need this box. So this is what I use for my basin. This is all handmade as well. So you have a lot. Let's throw that to the side, because why not? Move this up. There we go. Because we're only doing basins here. Right. So these were, so story behind these were my movement trays for quite a large army I have, for a different army. But movement trays are no longer needed. So I'm going to be turning these into basing. So I need to go through, get all this blue tack off quickly. So obviously this will be alive, and then it will. So I am recording this as well. So then later down the line, give it a while, and then I will be re-uploading as well. So we have that aspect of it. So you guys can watch the first one. Obviously now my chat is active, so people can obviously now chat instead of it being blocked. So there's that. Because I set it up a bit wrong when it first started, and because I set it up wrong, I didn't really do anything about it. So obviously, yeah. So I do a lot of resin work, and then so the aim to the next few ones is like, yeah, there's just so much blue tack here. I've been wondering where my blue tack's gone. I think I found where it went. Let's get this all off, because you do not want blue tack on this stuff when you do the stuff that I'm going to be doing. So first of all, I have to build some bases for a upcoming challenge with another content creator that's been in the works for about a year now. So I need to build my basin for that. So that'll be the first types of bases we build. Not quite sure what we're going to do for them. They are for a King's War and basileans. And I have about 3,000 points to do for basins, so we'll probably end up with quite a few bases for that. Because I can't do any casting of those because I do not have molds. So that will also get included in this at some point. So as you can see, we have got a hell of a lot of this stuff to work with because I made a lot of this. I still have all the molds, so if I need more, I will have to run off and make some more, but chances are very slim. So we're just going to start making bases. So the reason I green is so I can see what I'm doing. But check for any imperfections, all that sort of stuff. So by the side of me, I have a huge sort of box full of parts like this. So obviously this is a Games Workshop kit. I actually use this stuff for my scenery. Scenic anyway, so it's like, okay, just like throw it in, do some wacky stuff, sort of thing. Like even in here, you have a few. That's that one as well. So this is one that I pre-made for my dwarfs, so we'll actually get primed up today. Ready to go. So we'll have a bit of everything. We'll have stuff that's going to get painted. We'll have stuff we're going to be making. Primarily, I want to focus on the basin mechanic today. This will be quite a long one as well. So this is going to be about, I want to say about 6 hours, sort of thing. But obviously, I'm not going to guarantee that. So you'll see, like, this is one piece I was supposed to do, take all the blue tack off because I want to do something for this. and that didn't really happen. So what I do need to do is just, this is the other issue as well with blue tack. People, if you leave it on there for a long time, it will just stick like crazy. Like fucking crazy. It's insane. I do apologize in advance for any like F-bombs I drop and stuff like that, because yeah, I'm when it comes to that stuff, I'm quite bad for it. I try and do my best not to do it as much, especially on like live streams. Like for example, over on Twitch, when I do my live streams there, I try to do my best not to. 9 times out of 10 that fails very, very hard. Right, I'll have to put that in some water to try and get that off, and try and get it off in a good way. So, like for example, like we have a bunch of these parts. Here's one that I done earlier. Sort of Blue Peter moment that is. Oh, that's the old one that is. Blue Peter. I do have all the paints and everything ready to go. So basically, all I need to do is essentially now just work out everything. So to get to that sort of stage. So we have this piece here. So what we'll do. So because of the army, the ones I need to make it for, so they're called basileans. So they're very much like in your like local towns and stuff like that. So there are ways I can do some really good stuff with this stuff. Like so, and I think people, you guys might know about this unless you've been on a Twitch stream with yourself. Let's move that box. Like I have an entire box of like this sort of stuff here. But one thing I did do on a live stream over on Twitch, if this one would be nice, yep. I went through and just cut out a load of sprues. And basically that's going to be like paths and stuff like that. If I don't have enough of the parts I do want to use. So for there we go. For an example, here's one that's been just stuck down, so we can actually finish this one off, so you guys can see a bit more of what I mean. So what we're going to do, so double-sided sticky tape I found is really good for this stuff. But what we'll probably do is remove this, clean the bottoms, and swap it to another one. So as you can see, this has been on there for a while because I'm having to put a lot of force on this just to essentially get it off. So I want to do some sort of wacky stuff with this. So let's get all this off. So this is actually from the basilean kit. I think I have multiple ones from Games Workshop, but yeah, I like using it for King's War stuff personally. So all we're doing is just gonna remove all of this, and then I'll get a clean one, and then we will start adding parts to this. So you also notice there's no music in the background. That's just for the pure reason I'm not quite sure how this is going to work with the music side. I don't want to risk it and have a straight like first ever live stream. That's something I do not want. So all we're going to do now is just clean this off. I do have a file somewhere. I actually need to get some new files at some point, but a knife will work more than enough for this. Hey, Wallander. Yeah, we're doing a long one today, well, as you know. So, I'm just going to work on my basin. We're going to do basin for this first installment. So, we'll do like a load of the basin, get a bunch of these made. And then we will be essentially from there. We will be getting them all primed. Then we're going to painting on another stream. So we'll do base making for 6 hours today. About 6 hours we'll do. So I'm listening to music, obviously. Like I normally do, as Wallander knows, because they are on Twitch with me. And they're definitely a good one. Hey, nice one. Well, I'm building my basin, ready for our challenge. So how are those demons coming along? Now, I don't mind it too much with these as well, especially if the gap's not perfect. But I don't want them like proper close. So like the odd little, like having like little gaps, like for example like that, does not faze me. Just for the pure reason of I'm going to be putting grit and sand and God knows what else in here, and I don't want it to look like pristine. No idea how these are actually going to get painted as well. That's one thing I don't know. Oh. So little things like this would be really good to just pop straight there. Then we can build around it then. So the reason I'm using super glue for this is it's just resin. The resin I use is a carbon fiber resin. I can put links to the resin in the description when this gets re-uploaded. Because this will be live now, but at the same time you won't really see it for a while. So it will go live. I'm currently recording this, and then it will just get uploaded into chunks. Oh yeah, multi-basin's the best. Like, should, yeah, slot that in right there like that. So that's kind of good. Well, that's one thing with Kingswood that's really good. Because obviously, like, we get to mess about with this stuff. Like, multi-basin I miss. I miss it when old school fantasy was like it, but obviously, we're all about Kings of War in a minute, this year. Well, not so much this year, but at this current minute. Yeah, like we'll be doing so I'll be releasing a full schedule and everything, and how we're going to do everything later down the line. So even I know what the hell is going on. So this is like the first installment. This will get split down into quite a few different things. So I will have to record a little bit, and then I can actually split this down into a few sessions. So you will see I will just randomly do like starting soon and stuff. Stop recording, start recording, and this will give me like 3 lots of live streams to upload, so I can edit it all, get all that sort of stuff done. Because currently our editor's just catching up on a load of stuff, so I'm doing all the editing myself at the minute. I'm really trying to crack down on it. Yeah, scenic bases are just, I don't know, something about a nice, good scenic base really sort of like gets me going. Like, it's just nice to have like being able to have that flexibility where you can design it all yourself. Sort of like it feels like you put more work into the army, and that's one thing with Kings what I think is absolutely fun, absolutely amazing. I am trying to hit F bombs and stuff like that down, and all the F swears and stuff, but this is just something people are used to if they come from Twitch over to here. Just check this out. Oh, that goes perfectly right there. But yeah, we're going to be doing quite a lot of the basing today. I've got some stuff we can get some built, but I want to save that for like a different session. So we can get quite a bit of this done. So as you can see, like even just that and putting some dirt down will be like a good little section. But what I might have to do is just turn this around though. So like even that is, once you've got stuff on there like all the grit and stuff like that, I mean you're going to put another little bit there I think. So I'll probably just use this piece right here for a chunky piece. just like so. Then I just put all like sand and grit all down in the grooves and stuff. So it's just that simple just to do little things like this. And then obviously I could put something there, but I don't want to overdo it. So we'll keep those pieces back for another one. So that is one completely made. Obviously I have that to clean at some point. So, literally, if you hear me rustling in the minute, just going to go through the box of just the sheer amount of plastic stuff we actually have here. So we've got everything from like fences, walls. I have a lot more than I actually thought in this box. So, like for example, here's another one we've made for our doors. This is how much actually knows in this box, because I'm just pulling out random parts now. Random pieces that have stuff on them that I started months ago. And I'm pulling out clean, like, essentially standard parts like this. That's another one we can use. Yeah, so like, even just like stuff like this, we can just put straight down at the back. Obviously, I'll have to amend it slightly. That'd be a good one for death. For death fraction. We've got stuff like this where we can take off the side panel parts. Just pops slightly like that. But we're focusing on the basileans at this current minute. And this is some new stuff I can use here. Like, I'll probably work on some. I need to think of some different bases for everything. So that would be that. Alright, become thank you. I wanna, all we're doing now is just going to remove this stuff. Wow, I really need to put this one down. Pretty good. But this is always good to do like little planned little sessions. So I haven't planned anything we're doing today, besides we're getting some basilean done for an army. So the ones that have like the sticky stuff on, we'll put to one side, because I have all the ones I possibly will need. Obviously, if I have to make more, I have to make more. Put that to the side. I think up top, that needs to get way out of the way. This will come in useful for something. I don't know what. We put that in the center this time. This will go better in the center, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this for a centerpiece. Okay. Bingo. And then all we can do then is just, I can put like a fountain or something. I'm pretty sure it has something to use for that function, at least. But I have like so much. So that won't do any good for what we're doing. There's a lot of stuff in here. actually from boxes quite a bit, people. Just found some more stuff like that we can use. Another one. So we have quite a bit of scenery. We don't have much. Well, no, we don't have much. We don't have like massive amounts. So this is something we're going to have to like slowly go through, slowly plan through, very, very slowly, and just really keep on what we use. Obviously, there are ways where you can get multiple pieces, stuff like that. I have the means of doing it, but not quite just yet. So I'm actually just trying to find like a couple of like one specific partner. I don't know if I can actually find it. I had it a minute ago, and I put it back down. Because me, I like doing that. That's fresh. I know roughly where it is. I know what I'm looking for. Or I can find this one, right? So I'm not going to class it as lost. In the box. Right. When I say I have a big box by the side full of this stuff, I'm generally not kidding. It generally is quite a large box. I have by the side of it. That's not it, but it's similar to the part I actually am looking for. Okay, there's another piece there we can start taking apart. So stuff like this we can use very, very easily. And all I literally do is just shave / cut these parts here. And then I have to do some of these bobbly bits. So, Joey, that way. There you go. Okay, so I think these are actually the same parts. That could prevent an issue down the line. What I really want to do is this, I can't particularly do it. So I technically could. So this part will come in a real big handiness later down the line. That's fine. You can just get the main base parts done for the minute. So do stuff like this. So I'm just using my nail for this one. Just because it is going to be easier. Oh, Christ. Now what we do, stick a little bit more there, a bit there, a bit there. Place this part like so. And then this part can go essentially like that. Right, I know where this is going, so what I might do is do this like so. So you see it's still slightly wet, but that's not too much of an issue there. Now we can work with that. So that's a bonus thing right there. So obviously there's a lot sort of like we can do with this sort of stuff. Um, so so yeah. Got your coffee and you're all set to go? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have a few basing plans. Nothing crazy. Like I'm pretty much just doing like a whole big bulk of them. Like I know, obviously for basileans you get unical IHOs or what the hell they're called. I think that's how you say it. I'm gonna need like a graveyard scene for them. I think just something like a bit different to what you would conventionally see. So there is that. Because I am recording this as well, just so I can upload it later on down the line. Because yeah, I don't want it to be fully. I don't want people to see it. I'm just gonna essentially use the recording, and then basically just go from there. Like so, this like because that part's so small, I can get in slap bang right there. So even if this is, I don't want this to be perfect. Like it will look, if it's perfect, I don't think it will look right personally. From basing, I don't want things to look too perfect, especially with this stuff. Move that to there. There we go. So there is that aspect. But yeah, it's just gonna be really interesting, just with stuff that's going on. Um, no real problem with that. Yeah, like doing stuff like this is just quite nice. It is nice because it's just something different, something unique. So even if stuff's too big, I can just like bend it, and we're all good to go. Like that's just a tad too big, so we take the end part off. And those end parts you don't want to like move away or anything. You want to keep them there. I don't have any idea either. Like I still need to start getting my halflings. I'll probably start getting that once I've got main bulk of the big event, the other event we're doing, or that I'm doing. So I'll start those pretty soon. I haven't bought any halfling stuff at the minute. why is that in there? I don't know. So like, still gonna like tear parts like that, because that's the thing, it doesn't need to be perfect. There we go. Just that quick. We just managed to knock out another one. So we've got a couple of them now, ready to go. We'll probably get these primed. Yeah, mushroom themed halfling stuff will be quite cool actually. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop these. I have a box by the side of me. So we're going to pop all the ones we've done into here for a minute. Then that box will go by the side of me. So what we're now going to do is just start tearing these parts off. At least I can say that the double-sided sticky tape I use is really good. Because, damn, this stuff sticks. So we just need like lots a bit of bangers just because I have all my paints and stuff behind the camera. So this would be a good IO base, this sort of like design. But I want to primarily work on the base and stuff today. So you will see me like doing all the basing pretty much today. We'll get it primed. So I will then have to work out what's being used for what. I need to design a few bases. I've got to design a Night Stalker base as well. Because I have some Night Stalker models I need to transfer to these types of bases. Anyway. So that'll be something on the list we do is just do some like big theme Night Stalker ones. With like some pillars as you see there. Because it goes a bit different. I have a bunch of gravestones as well to one side. I have a lot of different things to one side for this specific purpose. Obviously these are our dwarven ones, so we'll pop those also in the box as well. Okay, next one. So there is that. So what we want to now do is I just have to load this up. As you can tell, I'm actually quite sleepy today. So earlier today, I was actually DMing. So there is that. So like I'm fresh from DMing earlier. So that's why I'm a bit tired. It wasn't a long sort of one, like session, but it was sort of like really heavy on thinking of how everything's going to be going. So when you do heavy sessions, sometimes it can sort of like, yeah, it's very tiring. Like I think with just any aspect. But some bases done today mainly. This is the main focus of today's stream, is just to get as much of this done as possible. Because obviously, King's War, you don't have to do this stuff, Like there's no obligation to do it. You don't have to. For myself, it just adds more sort of texture to the army. It just makes it unique. So there is that. To me, it just like makes it gives it the army's like more of like an aesthetic, we'll call it. Just makes them more interesting. All that sort of stuff. One of those like that. So I have like this piece here that I can just refine. Thank you. And it has like a load of like stuff on here like this anyway. So with add effects. So this sort of stuff can basically just go along the side, like so. That's what we don't particularly want to be using just yet. So I've just noticed this one has like a lot of raised more sides. So it's ideal, but not ideal at the same time. What we're trying to do. So they're all my flat pieces. Oh, no, I say it's all my flat pieces. I find two pieces that have like the step bit. So if I can find a piece that will go there, that will work. That's just long. Don't tell people, be careful working with super glue so you don't get attached to you. Because how super glue attached to your hand is not fun at all. So, but I think I may need to cut the top of that to get it a bit more better coming out, because it doesn't seem to be coming out that well at the minute. So you will find that I will just start doing stuff. Oh Christ, now I'm throwing it everywhere. So I will start like just removing the top cap every part every now and then. So it's just one of those things at the minute. Okay, that's actually drying quite nicely. That's drying quite nicely as well. We get to the side. So now we have like this whole area here exposed. So there's ways we can go around that. That'd be a tad too big. That'll do. So for example, we can put this like this. But I want to try and keep it to like this sort of style here. As much of the stonework as possible. So finding pieces like that will probably be our best bet, isn't it? But I don't have any pieces like that. So we may have to like chop and change it up a little bit. So I would normally use a Dremel, but I can't find part of my Dremel. So I'm sort of like, oh dear. Otherwise I'd be using my Dremel to do this. But at the same time, it's also very, very noisy. So I want to try and leave as much of the Dremel work off camera as possible. Just because I know how loud that thing gets. That works. Not what I really wanted to do, but hey ho. Let's do this. gives me another piece. But there are a lot better ways to do this method. And not like that, because that actually hurt. That's probably gone, floating about now. So, there's loads of little things you can do. This sort of stuff. Primarily this is to do with the King's War stuff, but yeah. Let's do that. Bend that down. Yeah, I would recommend getting Dremels for this sort of stuff, because it is just a bit easier. To be perfectly honest, people, it's just so much easier. Because that's like that's Dremels. Right? Dremels themselves are like a really useful kit to have. That's really freaking spiky. So let's clean that off. There we go. Okay. Right. And then we want to do this. Put this down. Okay. So can we get it off? Yep, we can get it off. Sweet. Can we get this side off? Oh yeah, look at that. This side? Come on. Don't be like that. Be nice to me. There we go. Awesome. So I sort of want to try and like get as much of this off as possible. Apparently I just want to ping stuff across my room as well. Like that. Let's do this. Do this. Right. Put this down. Right. Especially when you're doing this sort of stuff, try and clip it so it's facing down, so it doesn't hit you in the face, because you do not want to get this stuff in your face. Because I can talk from experience, it hurts when you ping plastic into your face. It's like stepping on Lego. But imagine it hitting your face instead. Like even stepping on sprue sometimes really hurts. Alright, let's get this cleaned up a bit more. Like so I did actually forget to do my coffee before I started. So basically I've got some juice by the sun anyway. Come on, thank you. All I'm going to do this part is just put that in the corner section, just like so. And then from there, we're going to sort a couple of other little bits out. Just to make sure that we are basically just making sure we got it all right. And then hopefully we can sort that all out. Okay, so that is that. Let's get rid of that to do that. Move that to one side now. Right. See, that would fit there if it wasn't for that. Okay, that's no good. Okay, I have a couple of pieces like that, so quite handy. One is like the smaller sort of ish pieces. Just to really sort of like so. Now, I don't know why, but like just this whole aspect of like multi-base and that. So I've only recently heavily got into Kings of War since last year. I fully got into it. I'm now one of the company's Pathfinders as well, so I get to work closely with the company. And yeah, it's nice. It is like so this is from Mantic Games, the King's War stuff. But just being able to like, I think the main thing that really brought me to King's War was just being able to just customize your bases a lot more than any other game. Well, not like any other game systems. Obviously, there are other game systems. But it's nice just to be able to like sort of like customize them a lot more, have more of a free reign, we'll call it. I know I took that part off, but yeah, we're now going to put it back on apparently. You will find that, especially with that sort of stuff I do. But how are we all doing? Hopefully we are all doing well. So obviously, like, I'm listening to music. There's no music being played on stream because I need to be careful with that sort of stuff, especially when it comes to YouTube. Twitch is a bit different. I have stuff I can use for that. I'm just not quite sure how it works on the YouTube aspects. This is obviously our first stream. So but we're going to get as much of this done as possible today. Get as many of these bases built. We'll probably prime a load of them as well. And then we will get the army out that most of these bases are going to be going on for. And we'll basically just start getting it all on, working out all the positioning, get some pictures as well, because there's one thing that's actually really good if you're doing stuff like this, is just taking some pictures as you go through, so you know where all your dudes have got to go. It helps, I find it helps me personally. So there is that aspect. That piece just slots in just like so. But yeah, mushroom themed halfling stuff is going to be really cool. Just in general. Ow, foot. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting, especially when it comes to this sort of stuff, like seeing how this stuff does. And obviously, like from my research, there's not much of this on YouTube anyway, let alone anywhere else. There's stuff out there, but it doesn't have like a huge sort of thing. Okay, so we have a few pieces. As I said, I'm not too fussed about the gaps and stuff in between any of this. We will deal with those on another stream. I don't know why aren't you? That's probably why you're not going flat. This piece right there is blocking it. There we go. Because all I'm doing now is just going to start dotting these about. Different sizes, different angles. Okay, that goes on quite nicely. So I have actually got super glue on me. Yay me. I can't stand it when I get on. Awkward as hell sometimes, especially to get it all off and everything. So we're going to do like a graveyard sort of one now. So we're going to want like pieces like so. Just go back like that. But I need it on the flatter piece. It's this piece right here. But I need a whole piece. No, I don't, because I have to need eggs. So we need more like a graveyardy sort of thing now. So we've got a few gravestones. That sort of stuff. Got loads of this sort of stuff, and obviously you really had a spot where it's from. So we'll get the sections cleaned up. Oh, thank you. It does feel weird, like streaming over here. I think I have some corner parts that I can actually use for this relatively really well. So we'll see if we can find some of those in the box. I'm pretty sure I have some for it. I have certain parts in the box right now. It's actually quite insane. Yep, here we go, here's a part. So essentially this part would like essentially just sit like so. We're going to try and get it sat as best as we can. So this will probably be primarily for the IHO stuff, possibly some dev stuff. It generally just depends really on just what I decide in the end. It's always good to like do stuff like this, just pre-test, pre-measure. Always a good tip. Okay, that's pretty stuck on, so it's not going to be too much of an issue because I can just use this part just here and sort of connect it. If there is gaps, it's not too much of an issue as well. Because obviously we're going to fill it all up. We're going to get grit and sand in there, get some filler in there. But at the same time, we might not even do that. Might just leave it as it is. So we should be doing. I'm not quite sure how long we're going to do, but we will do at least 2 hours today. So it'll be a 2-hour live stream. And then I don't have to worry about next week. I won't be so late during the stream, so we'll probably end up doing a couple. So we'll probably end up doing like a double stream next week, double stream day. I want to try to do as much as I can tonight. But obviously, we all like people know when enough's enough sort of thing. We'll call it. So we're just gonna play it by ear, figuratively speaking. That's the wrong way. So I will have to like get the models every now and then, so you will see what some of them look like, obviously. The ones I need aren't actually in that box, they're in another part of the spring. So I believe they're in my drawer system. So we will quickly have a look there. Pretty sure they are. The chances of them though are probably quite slim. Don't think they actually are, so they could be in the phone. And they're in the phone. So the original piece of foam I picked up, they're actually still in. I thought I took them out. So we will get a few of these guys out. Just essentially so we can see what we're doing. Just tunes of Idaho right there. And we have like another block of 3 right here. Damn, we're spoiled today, people. We are spoiled. That's all the other units. I don't have to worry too much about it this kind of time. So we'll put this. So we'll put this phone just by the side of us, but we probably may need to use it every now and then to sort of gauge everything. So that's why I've got these currently out now, so I can gauge it all the positions, the rough sort of size, like. So pop that like that. Try to get as close to the edge as possible. So now this bottom section is something you want to now deal with. So don't want to over tower it as well. That's another key thing. You don't want to like over tower stuff. But sometimes it causes problems. You could do that like that. Just slide this piece in. Because it fits perfectly as well. By the time we get dirt and everything around it, that would actually work quite well. Obviously, if it was a bit smaller, we could fit it there, but having it there is not going to be too much of an issue. So what we're going to do, just clean this section like so. Okay. So. Yeah, I still think this will be for eye hose for definite. So like, I'll have like an eye hose just there. We'll get some blue tack and start prepping this out. So you get some. So then you guys can see what I mean about getting pictures and stuff. And so if you get the pictures, it will help you a hell of a lot. Just for the pure reason of, at least then you have like not a mental note, you actually have some images to go by on how they're going to go. So like the IAHO stand quite tall anyway, because of the type of models they are. I think they're monstrous. But I have the rulebook near me, so I can actually check that. That I really should have sorted out. As long as I get 5 of these on a base, we're pretty much good to go. Because I'm putting 5 on a base, that means I can get an additional unit. So you would normally put 6 because of the way they're designed. But because of the recommended basin size, you can get away with actually putting less on there. So I can actually get away with putting 5 on the base, and then sort of going from there. So like obviously, like these are all been primed as well. So I'm thinking, pop this there, slice that section off just there. So we're looking about just there. So if we do that section there like that, we can then follow the stress point. Do that, pull up, and it should be, well, you know what, it's not perfect, but it will do. Like, that's the one thing is where you don't have to make this perfect. We can go in and do all the tidy ups and stuff, like later down the line. These won't get painted though for a while, obviously because this is part of a challenge between myself and Warlander, who is currently in chat. And there we go, first parts of blue. Damn. So what we want to do is just put small amounts now. Now I know how, the fact we're going to be going through quite a bit of this. Just want to put just like a decent size amount. You don't want to put too much, you don't want to put too little, obviously, because it won't stick. I'm not using activator for this either. Superglue activator will be a really good thing to have if you can get hold of the stuff. So for example, we'll put a guy just there. And then obviously I'll show you guys in a minute on camera how this will look with the stuff just blue tacked into place. So you can see like a down sort of view. So these aren't fully built. The guys just fell over at the back. So obviously there will be pictures that will go onto the Patreon, because I will put update pictures on the Patreon for people that missed this, as well as stuff like that. So you will see me occasionally, every now and then, grab my phone. That's just so I can take pictures, so I have like a full documentation, essentially documenting this whole process, so I can work out where this all goes. Because one of the things I will be doing is getting the stuff on here like this, and then I'll be building around it as well. So I'll be getting as much as I can on there like that, and then work around it, go from there. So there is that aspect. We will know. So, right, now we can actually start working on it a bit more. We're putting other things there in places. But I don't think this one actually really needs that. Maybe some more skulls, because this is technically like a graveyard scene. So, there is that aspect of it. So yeah, just like a few more skulls, because obviously, yeah, we are essentially working on a graveyard sort of scene right here. I have plenty of skulls. I have an entire drawer full, so if I run out, we can just grab some of those. So yeah. And then obviously this piece I think is actually way too big because I didn't pre-measure. This is a prime example of why you should always measure. But it's not too bad, it works, but it doesn't work at the same time, so we might need to put that piece just here. And if we put that piece there, I can then finish it off. Nope, that won't even work. So okay, so there you go, people. So don't be too worried about making mistakes, because you shouldn't really worry about that. So if you start worrying about that, you'll just make mistakes, I find. So what we're going to do now. Now I need an extremely better knife than the one I have. This section just here. And there we go, people. That is our first IHO base. Now we're going to do, this is another blue tack stuff. So we can just remove it. And then go bump, bump, bump. Just remove. Done. So obviously this is our first IHO one, so we're going to keep this from one side so we know the rough designs of how we're going to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a few of these and we are going to place them on this like so. So we want 1, 2. So we have 4 here, so I think I might have put 1 here. Okay, cool. So we have the rest here. So we have 5 there, 2 left. So there is that. So we'll put this one to one side. Normally I would be painting as well, but today we're just going to do just some simple basic sort of stuff for this at this current minute. Obviously afterwards we will then start working on the infantry ones. There will be a full sort of, not so much a display, but we'll get it all primed. And then obviously pictures will be uploaded to the Patreon. if you want to see everything completely done, sort of like blue tack down, so you can get a good little feel of it. Stuff will be up on the Patreon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a similar sort of style, but we're going to swap it up a little bit. So we're going to use just a couple of the bigger ones, possibly. I think I have some actual fence post ones that may work just a tad a bit better. I know we have plenty of this sort of stuff. So this is the sort of stuff. Pop it here. So that's the sort of stuff we're going to actually go through the box now and just try and dig out. So we have. Oh, that's no good. So that we have like this sort of stuff as well, where I've removed all the bars and stuff. That will come in handy. Oh, we have more pieces like that. We have quite a lot of this sort of like graveyardy sort of stuff. So this is really, really helpful. Like we have plenty of these parts as well. We've got stuff I've already started cutting away. So we have a few extra pieces like so. So yeah, as you can see, like we have quite a bit. We have, for example, we've got like statues as well, like so. So I was saying about the fencing. We have it all here in bags, ready to go as and when we need it. Put this one inside. So I think it should be okay with these pack at this current precise moment. If I need to obviously get more pieces out, I will get more pieces out. That's around there, obviously. I'm looking for a bit more fencing there, a bit more walling aspect of it. Because walling is like really key to this sort of design. So get that like that. Pieces. I know so we've got very more pieces, but you know we have a lot of this. So we might as well. I don't worry about all the racket as well. Just like all in a box, by the side of me. This is pretty much the only way to get stuff out. Why is that in there? I have no idea why that's in there, but yeah. So obviously, as you can see, we just grabbed a huge bundle of just different types, different parts, parts that have been fence posts, parts that have been cut. So for this one, I want to do a bit different. I want to give it to this part as sort of like a main focal point. So this one we will have the statue, but I want the statue so it's facing. Yeah, I was just facing like at an angle. I don't want it perfect. That's the one thing. I don't like having stuff completely perfect, just because of how I am. I like things being really different. So we are going to just clean that up quickly. Grab our plastic glue this time because we don't need super glue for this section. So we are just going to just do this. So get a bit more on that brush right there, and go like so. What we're going to do is we are just going to stick this down like so. So essentially that would give us like a nice tall pillar, because I want this to sort of be, these are meant to be angelic, so this will give it like that oomph it needs. But for this sort of style, I'm going to put it at the back, I think, and then we'll probably, if I knew where I put that part specifically, this one part. I think for this one though, what we might do is do something different, a bit wacky. We'll grab some of the smaller pieces. So like we'll probably put like this part just here on the side, and this part like that, or something like that. But I want this to be the main focal point. So let's start messing about with some of this stuff. I could really do with probably flattening this stuff, this piece right here. Get this piece straight on like so. The only issue with this, I would have to remove these sections here. It's not too much of an issue, but you know what? Let's just remove it. Need a set of clips that will actually get around, because that blue pair will not. I don't think I have a set of clippers near me that can do that. But I do own many sets of clippers. For where they all are, myth to me. I do not know. So we have that aspect. So what we could do, we have a pair just here. Will that be wide enough to get in there? Yes and no. So it is wide enough. So what we're going to do. So as you can see, it's tough. I'll probably end up breaking these, but so the main thing I'm doing is just trying to basically just get it not so much cut, but indentated. Because then I can actually start bending it into shape how I need it. So, and then I can go with a blue set every now and then and sort of like, just sort of, see, this is where Dremel would work really well. Very, very well, because I'm trying to cause as much stress as possible on this section just here. So you can see when it's stressed because it will go slightly wider. So we may be able to actually just full on be able to cut this now, because there's quite a bit of stress on that one section. There we go. All I got to do is clean this section up. Right, there we go. Let's get this side done now. So we need to do it a bit more. Do that side a bit more. Right to the side. Do you mind? Apparently it doesn't mind. So what we're going to do now is just tidy this up a little bit. I will add like the fences and stuff at some point. Not sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll figure it out another time. And it's not perfect. How about this side? Is that better this side? Okay, so I need to find one that's going to be a bit better for this, because that specific one is not good. So this is flatter, yes. So what we now need to do is we need to make sure all this bottom section is a lot flat. Let's do this. If I knew where this file, I was like, if I knew where my file was, I would use that. Oh wait, I do know where it is. It's right by the side of me. So we're just gonna sort of like file it down a little bit. As you can tell, I need some new files. Sort of just like trying to get it somewhat flat. Not perfect, not 100%, because I will not be able to do that with these files because I need some new ones. But these will get it to sort of a decent flatness. And then what we do now, we'll hit the sides as well. Pop this like so. There we go. So in theory, we should be able to get this part just right. Do we put this perfectly centered to the gate, or do we actually move it over? I'm thinking putting it to one side more than anything. I want to keep that where that is, so that can go there. And then I'm thinking I don't want to use two of them. And then we put like one of the crypts just here, like so. And then what we can do is go along, put some PVA down, put some mix of sand and stuff there. So that would be quite handy, and that's reasonably flat as well. So you will see me take pictures every so often. Yeah, it's basically a chop shop. It's basically what today is basically let's make a chop shop. So I am listening to my music, people. So if you just hear me start like mumbling and stuff like that, it's probably because I'm listening to it. So we've got like a bunch of different armies as well to be working on throughout the year. So this is a 1 year project, 1 year boot camp, where we're literally basing is this month, pretty much. So that's our main thing. Right. So I actually want to go to this section. I'm gonna do this to this. But yeah, obviously, like we've got a lot we're doing with everything. So that's a bonus one. One thing I forgot to do. Bear with me a minute. Keep doing something. I forgot to do a few things. Right, I actually messed this up a little bit. Just bear with me a minute. So I was actually supposed to do some stuff that I didn't actually do, and I just realised I didn't do it. So just 1 minute, people. I will go as quick as I can. Obviously, as well, there's a lot that's going to be happening. We've got plenty of different armies that are going to be showcased. All that sort of thing. So we have quite a few things we're going to be working on. There's like going to be a few paint challenges, speed paints, that sort of stuff, different techniques. You'll be able to see live painting sessions, all that sort of stuff. So we've got a lot we're doing. That should all be done now. Yeah. So obviously I messed up the first part of the stream because I didn't set it up properly. Now I had to set it up properly. It's like, yeah, okay, we can do this. That's pretty solid now. Still not 100% solid, so I don't really want to be moving that about as much as I need to. So yeah, we're just going to be going through basin. So we're getting like a load of the basin done. Obviously on the Patreon you'll have a showcase of everything. And then any sort of like speed paint challenges we do within this one. If you miss it live, we will just upload it straight to Patreon. So that would be a Patreon exclusive, like the speed paint stuff at Kings of War. I'm not quite sure yet how we're going to work that out, but we do have Patreon. So that everyone who's part of this channel has their own social medias and stuff. So whoever you see on these channels, all the links normally down in the description. All that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to let this dry quickly for a bit, and I'm just going to have a quick drink. So the fun bit, now we're going to get the IHO. I did originally put these types of paper clips on them. That was before I realised what I wanted to really do with them. So now we're just going to go around, just dot a couple of these models about, not so much a couple. Did they even stick on there? It didn't, but did? Let's do like sort of this sort of sections like so. And then we can just like that. And then we can start getting all the guys up there. All these people, I say guys, but use it as a general term primarily. So we're going to have like an Idaho there. We'll probably try and get one at the back just here. We need to get 5 people here on this. So we will have one just there as well. Obviously as well, I will be taking a picture in a minute just so I got a visual of it. So yeah, I think we're doing pretty good at the minute. Like we're getting quite a bit done in a relatively short space of time. Well, I say short space, but it's really not. It's really not been a short space of time. We did have to mess up at the start. That was on my behalf. That was a mess up my way. I just didn't realise, because obviously this is our first YouTube stream on the channel. Normally we're the people that are involved in this channel, all Twitch streamers. But we want to bring something exclusive to YouTube, so we brought this exclusively here. A nice little boot camp for Kings of War, where well, there's not much. Wow, we haven't really explained what it's about really. Where we're going to go through, like, do some basing, working out all this sort of stuff, doing some painting, doing army builds, working out army lists, like tactics. There'll be battle reports as well being thrown into this. I've decided I have a few friends that are going to help me with that. So their links will, anyone that gets like featured will like obviously get anything they need, sort of thing. They won't have to supply the armies, we'll supply them ourselves. Because I own all the army. I own 6 different armies for Kings of War in a minute. So obviously I can supply them very much. I've been really heavy into it. Currently I have a 20,000 point Northern Alliance army with Trident Realm allies. I also have some goblins. I have my Ratkin, so essentially Skaven. On top of that, we also have the so we have Night Stalkers, Northern Alliance, Trident Realm, Basileans, Goblins, and Ratkin. So you'll see quite a lot of different armies be played. You'll see some armies being painted. We're basically just trying to really spice it up a lot. So, but I think as well, like with the way with King's War, the way the format of it is really nice. Like the way it plays, the rules, it's so simple. Like I can run through tutorials in like 20 minutes. So that's just me going for like a standard speed. If it's with someone else I know, we're going for it so fast, it's gonna be ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like I have to be very cautious because obviously we won't necessarily be doing it live. But at the same time, there is a chance we might do some live battle reports. For this, you don't know. I don't know what we're doing yet. If we can get some live ones done, it'd be amazing. So that would be like a really big thing for me. If we can get some live battle reports done, obviously with COVID and stuff like that, that takes presence. Because I have to be careful myself. So the people I bring on have to understand. Like they will understand that I have to be safe and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. So one of the things I want to do. It might seem really weird. So like we have a bunch of horses, but I want to do these as if they were running for a wheat field. It's really corny, no pun intended. But I wouldn't mind having them running for like a wheat field, stuff like that, just running through fields instead of like your standard sort of like what we've done so far. So in these, if I remember rightly, I think we need 20 in a unit for a regiment. I will have to obviously check that. I don't have the book with me. So that'd be one thing that we probably miss out today until I can look. I think I might be able to actually generally quickly look right now. So I will obviously pop the link to the website in the description. But obviously as well, I can, so I'll put the link to the site that I use for the Kings of War. You don't have to be a member or anything. You do need to obviously create an account with them and stuff like that. And you can get bonuses and all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to go and do a very quick army creation just so I can check the horses and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that we do it properly and I'm not messing stuff up make sure we're prepping everything ready to go. So we also are going to need to head over to Mantic's main site as well, due to I need to just double check. I know what I have for the army. I just have to double check how many models, if that makes sense. So we're looking at, so there's 5 knights, and these are paladin knights. So what we need to do is come onto our thing and find paladins, paladin foot guard, paladin knights. Here we go. So we're putting 10 a block. So that's going to be too small. So we need to put a horde on here. So we need to put all 20 in one block. Okay, that's really cool. So we can figure some stuff out with that, because we, funny enough, have 20 horses right here. So we can get like an average sort of size and work stuff out. But obviously, like, I want to make sure we get that sort of, like, that would be the last sort of thing we do, is the horses ones. But we do have a bunch of other stuff we can really sort of like work with. So for example, I just have to get a few of these out. Probably enough to really like get it all going. So these are the other guys getting kit. On one of our videos, we do have a box and an unboxing, I believe, of this set. I think we do. If not, that's my mistake. I will probably end up getting one at some point in the line. So these are Paladin Foot Guard. So I will have 40 of them. That leaves 2 blocks of 20, I believe, block of 2 20s. But because they can go at 15-man blocks, that means I get an extra 10-man block out of there. So that's a bonus. But it's always good when stuff like this works out. That's the other thing, like, with the Kings of War system is really, really interesting. Is you don't need to have like full blocks to get the buffs and the stats. As long as you have like at least a recommended size, you're pretty much good to go. So like with 20-man regiments, so you get troop, regiment, horde, and legion. So legion you'll primarily find with the undead stuff. So that would be like your skeletons, your ghouls, that sort of stuff, your mummies. Whereas most of the lot of stuff go up to just regiment sort of sizes. And regiments are like 10s, depending on what the army is. So, for example, these guys here can only go into either a troop or a regiment. So, troops are 10-man blocks, regiments are 20, but obviously, because of the way the recommended sizes, you could put a 10-man block at an 8-man block and a 20-man block at a 15-man block. And you get discounts as to go through. That means your boxes are more value for money. Most boxes work at around about £1 a miniature. Some are a bit more. The Dwarven one is insanely good value. If you're looking for some old school fantasy dwarfs, I would recommend the King's War dwarf line, because one, there's a lot of dwarfs in there. I have a box set personally myself. So I own dwarfs as well, actually. Damn, I have a lot of armies. We're going to have a lot of stuff we're going to have quite a few little battle reports. We're going to have like starter set versus starter set battle reports. We'll have like some of the bigger sets. So we'll have like a mega set versus a mega. Like you'll have like undead will be even bigger bonus, because we get an elite force, a standard force, and a mega force. That'd be kind of interesting. But at the same time, we're also going to be running Kings will have various different stages. So for an example, they have, so you've got King's War, that's your base army military one. Then you've got your Vanguard, that is also your skirmish side of it. But then you have your Armada stuff. So the Armada is boats, just having sea battles. It's really cool. It's really interesting. It's something different and unique as well. Obviously, it's not that unique because there has been companies in the past that have done stuff like that. So there are some companies that have done that sort of stuff, but there's just such a lot of cool, really different things you can do with a lot of these kits. So I'm using like Games Workshop products to actually make this one sort of like this stuff right now. So this is stuff from the Mausoleum kits, the Azorite Ruins, just loads of just random stuff that I just have floating about, that I've put into a box, as you can hear me rummaging through as we speak. And yeah, it's just something really cool. Like obviously we're working out all the basin now, so we know our iron hose, we don't have to worry about the basin for those no more, so we know we have completely done those. Obviously now we are working on, I believe these are the Paladin Foot Guard. Yeah, so these are the Paladin Foot Guard we're working on right now. She's essentially on foot, where the horse ones are, yeah, self-explanatory. They are on the horses. So there are various different things we can do to help this out. Little things, little tricks, little trims, sort of thing. We have loads of different things we can do. Ow, that's really spiky. So there's a lot of different things we can do. So I'm just really going through the box and what we've got in here. Because we have quite a lot of wacky different things in here. Obviously, we have lots and lots of more of these bloody things. So, for example, we even have like these guys like fully come off, where I have to remove them. So I'm thinking maybe we put the foot guard in some sort of thing like that, so they're coming out, or sort of thing like this, ready to go. Because I don't have archers in this army. There are no sort of like ranged units in this army, just because I've chosen not to do that. But in future down the line, we might put some. We do have some. So you can normally take. So I'm going to be convert. Not so much convert. I'm just like swapping the models out for a different type of model. Because I'm not a huge fan of one of the sculpts, and it is the Sisterhoods. Sisterhood Scouts. Do apologise, people. So what I'm using is some other miniatures to really like emphasise that. So we'll be able to have some sort of like barriers. I want to get like some really stone wally sort of stuff. So I will probably be tearing apart quite a bit of stuff tonight. So it will be like a proper sort of like. Essentially, it will just be a chop shop. But at this rate, because that's primarily what we've been doing actually. Mate. It's just like cutting stuff up, really sort of like pushing it. So what I want to do is then get this section like so, and then what we can do is we can just place some random pieces like this. So like with these pieces, because they have a lip, we will put them like so. Put that one about like that. Maybe throw, I don't know, one of these on the floor, sort of thing, like so. Throw a few more steppy parts in, like so. Have a bit like that, a bit like so. But yeah, so what we'll probably end up doing is cutting these down slightly to really sort of like bring it up, just to really create some stone walling. Because yes, this is good, but this is a bit too high for obviously these miniatures. So I want to sort of like cut them at this sort of level, so they'll end up getting. So for example, we'll cut one right now. So they'll cut about there, but this won't go to waste. This will get used again. So we cut there. We then look on the other side. Okay, and I can cut there. And then what we'll do is we'll just move over a little bit more. So we can do this. With those two little simple bends as well, we might be able to bend it. So that you can see just here, there's a lot of pressure now on these parts just here. And that's the sort of effect we want to really give it. So we can just do a simple bend like so, snap. And as we see, we have some stone walls. Now obviously they need a bit of a clean up, so this might be actually probably going to be the better option in all fairness. Just create some stone walling. These parts we'll put to one side for a minute. So what we're going to do is just create some stone walls. Like, you don't have to worry too much. I would recommend, like, obviously, if you are a kid, parents to bloody do this. Last thing I need is people cut themselves, go, well, this person done it. That's not really great for me. So we will do this like so. Hey. So obviously like this part as well, we can actually turn it to falling as well. How are you doing there? trying to be really careful so I don't slice my hand open. That'd be a big good one. First stream in. What do? We slice our hand open. So that essentially can go like so. So we can create some little walls and stuff. It's not that very difficult. It's just more awkward than anything. So this is actually from when I dremeled this off. So Dremels are just so much easier to work with when you're doing this sort of stuff. Hopefully by next time we'll have a bunch of this stuff done. We'll have like a bunch of stone bricks and cork. And come back to this. So what we do now is we just take the average size. Okay, I know we need to cut a round about it's quite a chunky piece outside. Yeah, I really should. Yeah, I really should do it away from me. Let's use this as a guide. This model as a guide, so I can pop. So these ones I pretty much done, so it's up to the shoulder. So I want to do it there, I believe. Okay, so this needs to be done a bit higher. So this actually wants to be done at this point just here. I'm doing very okay. So I want to go one higher. And yeah. Actually, this piece will take a bit longer just to cut through. Because, yeah, and then I want to put this piece, I want to cut that here first. So this will have to get cut out there. So like so. Just clear that out a bit so I can at least get the clippers in. So now what I want to do is just do that and just. So the reason I'm doing it is just so I can sort of make a gap. Stuff like that. Right, now we want to just come into here. Just give it a little cut. So what we want to do is always make sure your clippers are doing, not so much doing well, but yeah, make sure they're handy. But so this piece we might not be able to get a secondary wall out of, but we could if I do it right. Okay, apparently I'm throwing stuff on the floor now, people. Trying to work this part out now. So this is actually just a tad high. So we're gonna just sort of like remove that section. Right, there we go, finally got this. Right. Come on. Please snap. There we go. So yeah, we're just gonna keep building this up slowly. So get this section more. So obviously I've got to do a bunch of this stuff. So this piece is obviously going to go on that side, just because it makes a bit more sense. We might be able to get that. Yeah, we can actually get that pretty well done. So we could turn that round actually and do it like so, and it's just sort of works out really nicely actually. It's really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all clean the bottom of this. But what I want to do is get this glued on. Like so. And this piece we're going to glue on about there. But at the same time I want to make sure I can get it on. So what we're going to do is do that. Go to our trusty plastic glue. So this is another little thing I like doing, especially when doing conversions and base and stuff. If I need 2 points to join, I will still put plastic glue down, and then I will put a tiny bit of super glue in, and that also just helps the bond a bit as well. And it also allows me to like sort of connect it all up a lot more. Like so. So that's basically our wall now. So we can start like doing like this sort of stuff on the back to show that like the steps going up. So there's a bigger piece up top. We can do that piece like so. This piece would probably not be the best piece for that. Well, that's the piece I just picked up. That piece will could be good for it. That piece probably could be at this precise minute, unless we can sort of like. I'd probably say we might be able to do that, just so it goes around a bit, and then we can actually turn this bit like so, and then put that like so. There we go. That actually works out really well. So that's a really good thing. So you probably want to go that way. Yeah, we want to go that way for this one. Well, we said that way, but it wants to be an ass. So let's just do that. Do that. Okay. Turn this around, because then we can start getting stuff into place. So this chap would be about there, so he can see over the wall, but it's not too much over the wall. And that's my main thing now. It's just like get stuff blue tacked on pretty soon. Obviously I have 15 dudes just here, so I can use the same 15 dudes twice over. I think there's only 20. I think there was only 10 in a box. Specific box I got of these. I think there was only 10 in here. Yeah, so there was only 10. Nope, that's the wrong box. Let's go back to this one. Yep, there was 10. So there was 10 of these, so I actually only have 40 of these models. So just gonna remove all the clips because I'm got other plans on how to do these. So we get that one like that. So this is now where the fun begins. We can start converting this a lot. So we'll be doing like a few little different things. So this will be one of the armies as well we use in battle reports once it's fully painted up. Obviously, because yeah, it'd be easy that way. I'll be writing this list specifically. I'll be writing the other lists as well, because obviously I have the armies, it's easier for me to do it, because yeah, I supply them, and yeah, I enjoy writing my lists. So we're gonna put this one just here, because I'm thinking as well, we put another piece along this part here to really start to keep it into one wall, and then we build another one that is, we remove these sections, we put this one like this. So this one like this, we put another one, hear me out here people, I've got an idea. So we then take another one, for example. It's a bit bent, but unfortunately that's what happened in the mold process. This one's a bit better. So we then go like so. We'll just use this as an example for the minute. So that will sort of like go there. You'll have another piece just here, and then that will go like so. So it's like fully enclosed, and it can universal. So when it's on like a display, it can sort of like stay like that. I think it's going to be probably the best idea forward with these guys. Try and get them so they all interlocked, because it's one of the things I want to do with the King's War stuff is just make it so much easier to do that with. So we want to go like that to that. So we'll go like so. We've got to now cut this section. So we know that section needs to go about here as well. So like, no matter what we do here, we'll be using everything we possibly can. So for example, this part, unfortunately we are going to have to just cut down the middle, but we can use this for stuff, for something. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure something out. No, this is very Dremel. I wish I found the parts to my Dremel. Just don't know where the screwdriver part, the spanner part is. If I can find that bit, then we should be good to go. I just don't have a spanner for that, to sort of like undo it. Otherwise, I would be using a Dremel right now. But at the same time, where's the fun in that? To be fair, Dremel is really fun. I'm not going to say it's not, because I love using mine when I can. So all we're doing now is just popping this all the way through, and then just slice them. Shake and bake, boys, shake and bake. So I noticed with this one specific section at the top, it just doesn't stay in that one place, it slides down slightly. So I'm not sure whether it's because I haven't got this section here cut a little bit, but we might have enough stress now on this to actually snap it. That looks like we do have enough stress, but I want to give it a bit more stress. The one time you actually don't want to stress stuff, I'm like, yeah, let's just stress it. So what I'm going to do now is just use the end of my desk to really sort of try to get the markings sort of done. So there we go. The first time these Paris clippers have been useful by clipping that section. So now we want to do the other side to start the marking. Didn't really mark as well as I hoped it would, but it's fine. This is a wall, it doesn't need to be perfect. More stress applied, and bingo. That's next level of stress. And then just run along with a knife. I'm going to remove this section just here, like so. So yeah, this bit would be like a nice little gateway bit. Something like so. Let's remove that section. So we're looking at now. Right. Going to go back to the miniature. So we're looking about this section, I believe. How far does that go up? Goes up to the bottom section. Okay. So we're going to want to go to this line just there. So that would be, I believe it was. How do you say that line? Okay. That's so. Funny enough, some of the bricks are coming loose as well. Now, if I can save some of this for obviously the other side, it's a bigger bonus. Don't have to worry too much about it though. So I can sort of like, if I need to, I've got plenty of this stuff. So I can just clip away a few little bits just to get the clippers in there a bit more. Like so. So that will go to there. So that will then mean I need to cut about here. Right. And then we want to go this side and do the exact same thing. So I'm going to grab this set, so that's a bit better in some aspect. We're getting into like some of the sort of sections. So like you'll see how much pressure it takes for this to cut. I think it's because they are just a tad blunt, but at the same time it's not too bad. Because then I use it as the marking guide, and then I can go along, cut there like so, and then I can sort of like cut this section just here like so. So then that's now fully cut, so I can now get a good pairing. And hold it a bit awkwardly. Right. Right. Yeah. So it's getting ready. It's getting ready to be like fully pulled apart now. It's taking a bit more time though. Ow! Oh, just hit my desk with my hand then, as I pushed down a bit too hard. So that's fine. Because even now I can just slide at this little angle like so, and then possibly. Put a section like that one. Oh, that actually really did hurt people. So let's just give this a bit of a clean up. What I want to do is just make this as central as possible. Go to these ones, because these seem to be ones that can get a bit better of a cut. There we go. So not so much they get better of a cut, it's just they open a bit wider. I will give GW their props, that's the good thing they made. There's clippers that open nice and wide. And now I'm just pinning stuff around the room. So apparently that's what I like doing. So these will be the Paladin Foot Guard regiments. Regiments? I don't think it is a regiment. Oh, it is regiments. Okay, so this is part of the regiment section. So I have 2 blocks like this, and I have like a block behind that all interlocks with each other. I don't want these perfect, but like doing things like removing like, little things like this, like that does not need to be there. Like, just having it like a little, essentially janky, is going to help. We'll do that one about there, because there is another part to that I think I cut and I might have pinged. I hope it didn't. No, it didn't ping. It's here, so I can literally just obviously cut a little bit more off of that. I will have to like really get that pretty smooth, so we can start making our way on that. So do it. Spot move. So okay. See, like some of these like damaged where I cut, that's completely fine. I do not mind them, because I could do like little swamps, like a ravine sort of style. I know roughly how this is all going to go, so we're just going to start cutting it out now. I don't know why I wait a while then tip that upside down. I have no idea. Obviously, as well, I don't have to worry about this being perfect, like cuts. I can have it quite sort of, not janky, but be a bit janky. But I want to do it so at least it ties in. So as you can see, I'm just adjusting all of this to make sure it's perfect. So we've got that part now secured. So here's the thing. Do we put this part in the corner? That I think we might actually do, because that's going to look a lot better if I was to put like, oh, I don't know. No, I don't think it's going to look better. This part is the only bit I need to make sure is completely straight. Well, not so much straight, but like not so janky. The rest of it can be janky as hell. So what I will do is do that section like that. I will come in here with some glue. That section like so. And then I will then drop some super glue down here and slip it in there. Obviously as well, you'll see like we're going to make custom boxes for all this stuff as well. Each army gets their own unique sort of box that we'll make on stream. So, alright, we're gonna bit this section. I want to move this along. There we go. So it's not the best sort of work. It's far from it. But you know what? It's just one of those things where it's ideal, it's small, it's practical, and stuff like that. So that's the one thing I want to try and make, is that all this stuff is practical. It's not so much like, oh yeah, it has to be straight, this, that, and the other, it has to be perfect. Nah, screw that. Do how you want to do it. But obviously you can see, like, it's not even, like, it's just janky, we're going to call it. Don't know why I just did that and just bang my clippers on the table. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this section here. And then go on here, cut this section here. But this also gives us more sort of plane soldering. But at the same time, it means we can keep it at the same sort of level-ish. We want to probably go that way for this start. There we go. And then I can come along and just make this look a little bit neater. I was too worried about it being neat, but a little bit. Like, I want it at least ideally a tad neat. Like so. Hey Steve. How you doing? So probably found them. Crikey. Rip my headset out now. Cut there. No. Come on, thank you. Cut there. Do that. Cut there. Oh, crikey. Come on. Oh, really? You're gonna make me cut there? I don't really want to cut there, but okay. Right, how are we gonna do this one? Probably have to remove that quickly. Just go at an angle. The best way for this. Do you mind? Apparently not. Let's get these parts now cut and tidied. That's that done. Just give us all a little tidy up. Okay, so go on, thank you. I probably need to use the clippers in this section. It's easier that way. So let's just tidy that side. This bit needs to. Okay, that one's not too bad. It's not as high. It's not that high, but it's high enough, sort of thing, to make it look okay. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Next part, like so. Okay, so I can just cut straight across there. Okay. And there's another piece. It should be sliced about there. Like so. That piece seems to be okay. That piece is okay. That piece is okay. Cool. So let's get these pieces off now. Okay. Ready. So we're just going in the bloody corner. We want to get this stuff off primarily. So let's get stuff off. So that's one bloody piece. Do that piece like so. And what I'll do is I'll just place this part underneath that. So that actually still it gives it a nice little level up sort of thing. And then I can like sort of place like this part here, sort of like reinforce it just a tad. So it's not, I don't want to put loads and loads of this stuff down on these ones, but at the same time it might be useful. I want to make sure it's even, like not so much even, but there's like, yeah. Then this one we'll do like a slightly more like sort of chunkier parts, especially up against the fence sort of thing. So let's get that one there. So we'll probably put that piece like so, and then this piece. Okay, that's might have an issue there. So we'll probably just put like this piece along side part. So we'll need to slice that there, slice that. So we'll pop a couple of pieces here, like so, just over the fence parts, and then we'll place these parts along this line. I want them quite chunky because this is where the guys are going to be actually going. So I'll pop like, where's that there? That should be there. But we'll probably remove these parts just here as well, like so. So I give it a bit of a differential, like so. Actually, we'll leave that actually on because actually some skulls every now and then won't really do much to this, won't kill it or anything like that. So we can pretty much just work out from there. Oh, there's going to be a middle section for this because I'm going to get the last 10-man block. I'm going to put in the center. I need to pick up another box of them to fully complete it. And I'll have a centerpiece part as well that goes straight down the middle. Or what I'll do is do it so it's an actual 4 block. So you'll have 4 sections all together. No, I have plans. We'll step that like that. We'll put that piece like so. Just so it goes to like that. We'll probably, would that fit there? Oh, you sod. It's just a tad too big. Can we get one of these ones fit in there? Nope, that's still a tad too big as well. That's not going to be any good for what I need to do. That's no good at the minute. We could choose part of this because actually that will work really well. Because that's like near enough perfectly in line. So if I just grab my clippers quick, I'll hold a cut there. So we might. I say we might, because we might. Let's say I put it around the wrong way. Let's get these through here. And cut that there. Make the indentation. Put that through there. Should be able to get this through. Yeah. There we go. So we now have this section that I'll put probably slap bang here, like so. So it's actually more of an elevated one, possibly. But I might not because now we're looking at it, it won't look right in that section. Not so much it won't look right in that section, it's just how it is, it won't look right. So let's turn this around for a minute. And then what we're going to do is turn it around like so. Take the knife. We can indent. So I know where the indentation is and where it needs to be. So essentially what we're looking about here. Like so. We've got a slight indentation that's still not big enough. But I can sort of guide it now, roughly from this section, just here. Like so. Alright. Like, this is how thick this is. Like, it's not even cutting properly. But I'm just using that set to make the indents, and then I can come in with a better set and go. Christ, even this is actually struggling a little bit. Come on, thank you. There we go. Yeah, that's something that just took me to get that just little slice just there. It's a bit of a nightmare. So I have to keep swapping over every now and then. So I kind of want that piece, so I'm trying not to damage it as much as I can. Alright. Come on. Like, this is how much pressure I'm putting on this piece, right? And it's not even budging. Maybe I'm going to end up punching this, because that's something I do not want to be doing. Damn you, Dremel. Right. It's just this one section here. Right, first of all, let's cut this parts off just here. Might be best going from this direction, and then just cutting it slightly higher as well, maybe, so I can get like the clippers in a bit more. Alright, it might be the way forward now for this. It's just a clipper a bit high, clipper a bit low. Take it out like in little chunks, and then I can just start getting the clippers properly in, so I can start cutting properly. Alright, what I'm going to do is do this. Take this set. And then do that. Grab that chunk. Come on. Get the chunk out. Grab these back in. Now it doesn't want to go in because apparently the gap is too small. Too small for that set. Now a Dremel would be, if my Dremel was up, I would just use my Dremel. Need to cut that more. Unless I just now start cutting down, so I can still at least preserve some of this stuff. Now I'm using my desk now as an actual leaning section, so I can. And even if stuff gets destroyed a little bit, it's not too much of an issue, because I can use that for debris and stuff like that. So even these little pieces, like for example, we'll just grab a cup or something. We'll just use this cup here. So even like the little pieces I get off, I can use as debris and stuff like that. So nothing goes to waste. That's that one. A bit more in. Cool. There you go. That's like pretty much come off. Not exactly how I want it, but it would do. Oh, Dremels are great fun. I've cut myself a few times on mine because my stupid ass was like, "Oh, it's not turned on." Grabs the end of it. Nope, it's turned on. And I've ended up like almost slicing my hand open a few times. They're a really useful kit. It's a bit like the Proxon. I know you have a Proxon and I don't. Like a Dremel is really useful for stuff like this, especially if you're like working with like kits where you just want to take parts off. Now, I'm trying to be really careful with my swearing because I know I'm really bad for it. Can I still can't do it. Damn. Right. Right, let's just decide. Let's do this, to do this. Do this. Like, I'm literally having to put a lot of pressure on it just to indent it, to how thick this plastic is. The Dremel would have just sliced easily, just gone straight for it like knife through butter. A hot knife through butter to me, where it's at. Okay, we're getting there. It's probably taking me a good like 10 minutes to get into this piece, but it would be worth it. I hope. Alright, can I put this onto here and just pour it back with this now? Just slices it. Alright. I'm gonna use a corner on my desk. Right, now we just got to move it backwards and forwards slightly. Come on. There we go. Took a bit of time, people, but we bloody got it off. Right, now I need to sort the bottom out, probably. Alright, let's do that. Cut this section down a bit. Cut this down a bit. I somewhat want to keep the pillars nice and clean. Ow! Tell you what, these bloody spikes on this actually quite sharp. Like that's literally just like it almost pierced my skin. So, right. So then this effectively will go like so. So I actually do need to cut a little bit. Right, I know I need to cut now. So where it's at, I need to cut about there. So I can go to here. Do this. So it's almost a perfect cut. So I'm going to go back there. On this side, do the same process. That's why I'm really concerned every time I do that, because I feel like I'm going to punch my desk. To be fair, at least there'll be blood gone into this as well. All we need is sweat and tears. Once we've got sweat and tears in it, we're all going to we have the trio. Should really say that, but sometimes you do have to literally put blood, sweat, and tears and stuff to get it to work. Go. And then if I grab the other section now, I just need to sort that out and sort this piece out as well. So I can go there like so. There was a piece that I just had that flung. There it is. Pop that one there like so. Now we need to set this up. So you get a rough guide of where all 15 dupes are going to go. Oh Christ. Someone there. Pop him there like so. So this is going to be the first one. So I'll do each one. Yeah, that's my first aid kit, is literally a tub of super glue. If I don't have a tub of super glue for a first aid kit, then I've done something wrong. Like we'll put him there like so, because I want these to be behind walls sort of thing. Even if I don't use this specific one, these models, I can use the foot soldiers. Because I have spears, I can even use this for like bows and stuff. So see, now I get to see your bases, Warlander, for your army. Let's pop that to there. That one can go there. Because you're basically witnessing mine under construction. Aha. Win-win. There's a thing in there, I think. So that's 5 there. I might even be able to get like a full block of 20 on here, in all fairness. So I need another 4. 2, 3, 4. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 15. Losing a leg in a motor accident. Does someone have... Basically, yeah. Unless my first aid kit at home. Has anyone got any super glue? That would be me. Just super glue my leg back on. No, me. Like, it's just a sort of thing I would stupidly do. Lose your head? No worry, we'll just super glue his head back on. Yeah, because I'm not quite sure how you're doing your bases. I'm going more like city themed, because obviously the type of army it is. So it'd be interesting to see how you do your bases. Because I'm pretty much done. I will literally be done in 2 Saturdays. So 2 boot camp streams. I will have everything built, sort of like based, ready to go. So I will be all set. We just have to set this date. So, because I'm hoping this is helping you get your flow back. We'll definitely include some of like these parts in it. Could it be quite interesting? So I want to like incorporate stuff like this a lot, and like stuff that's been fallen down on each one to try and figure a way around it. I might try and get an entire like 2 regiments here. So it's like this chair's okay, but because of obviously all my stuff I have going on with me, it's just like, yeah. Sometimes it can be extremely painful just sitting down. That's good. Like a deep clean sometimes helps. Like it helped me in here. Just like changing the whole layout in here and stuff. Like I gotta give it another tidy up. But I'm gonna have like this entire. I'll have all the King's War Army on the back, so that will be on full display. We'll have some of the other armies as well. I'm gonna start just getting armies displayed on the back. Mainly the Kings of War ones for so Saturdays will be Kings of War armies and will be on the back bench. So you'll have a camera behind me looking at them. And then obviously it will change via each sort of session. Depending on what we do on each bootcamp one, depends on what gets put back there. So like when we do the next basin one, that we'll probably be doing for the next few weeks. Do this whole month for the basin. So a whole month of like basin sort of stuff, and I have like a bunch of wood chippings and stuff like that I can use for this sort of stuff as well, to really help it as well, to give it more of a farm sort of look if I really want to. I've got some custom reeves that I could actually make. I might make some more custom reeves one day, because if I make custom reeves, I can do it so more horses are actually going through swamplands. They're more of a swamp, sort of like going through like a river sort of thing. So I could do like a hill on the top, like a hill and sort of like a semi sort of hill on the top going down and up. So it's like a U shape sort of thing, or just like a hill, or like a river going down the middle. And I've got like a few horses going down the middle and have some horses along the side. That might actually be really good. You know what we're going to do is we're going to actually now play. We're going to put this one down. So we're going to glue this down. I found a few more pieces that I'm also going to glue down as well. Just for like little bits like that. So I want like each one to have their own little, not synergies, but like different little things going on with them. So obviously like we've got the Angel, the Idaho ones that are all sort of like more graveyard themed. I want these to be more defensive ones, because these are the foot guard. Like I'll have some archer ones that are more like based around little turrets and stuff. So each army's going to have something really themed. Better luck next time, Joe. So Games Workshop scenery is okay, but my god, does it help you create some really nice Kings of War stuff. Don't want to hit any of the people, so it's like really much of an issue. There we go. There we go. Now I need to get the other 15 on, take some pictures, then we have the accurate sort of stuff. So we have a few different things here. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not a 5. That's something else. That's one of the other models. So is that. So is that. Let's grab this one. To Sunny. So okay, so we have 5 there now. We have 10 there, and then those to the side. So we have full 15 now in this little bundle here in front of us. So we're going to remove the pins. I can just put these pins back in as well when I decide to. But I probably won't. I will probably just like, I don't know, blue tack or like glue them down to something. Just like get some plastic glue, glue them down, or just super glue it down to something, because I'll be able to do that. I think it's probably like Kings of War. Another good thing about it is you can really sort of like make your army really unique. It's like, yeah, the poses, some of them are mono, but like even these are meant to be mono. But because the body's gone forward a little bit, it just looks like it's leaning. So we're off to some really good stuff. I don't know why I'm actually cutting the pots properly, like, and cleaning them up, because I'm just blue tacking them down. Because this stuff can't get put on here. Have you decided how you're doing your basin for your demons, for your abyssals? Because I think you're up for some stiff competition here. Yeah, like Kings of War in general is just such a good game system. Like I'm determined to get the partner to play at least one game, or just one game of it, because it's, yeah. It would be really nice. It means like it's something that like she may not understand it, as she calls it a foreign language, because to her it's like I'm a different breed. I think. We're out of blue tech. Let's go in my box. Oh, I did not realise I had those in there. Jesus Christ, there's more of them. Blue tack. It's always good. So I've got like one there. Oh, crikey. But I've got like 2 whole things just full of blue tack here, because of this sort of stuff. So it's a bit like me. I'm making mine up today. Like when you get it done, I've got to see this. You got to show me, because obviously you're seeing mine, so it's only fair. Or are you doing it on the day? Is it one of those ones where you have to physically do on the day? Or are you able to get prep and done like I can? Is it 10 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. I still have to somehow get 5 more dudes on here. And then we will do the pictures. So I have a log of it. Not so much a log, but just so I can see what I have and what I haven't done. Put that guy there because he's actually going forward. There we go. That's these guys done. Paladin foot guard done now. So now I need to do pictures. So I can see how they look. And the base and stuff. Where they need to be placed. And we'll do a full picture of the whole section. So I have one more to make where I have a block of 10. So we will grab those 10 now. Yeah, so we have 10 more. So what I will now do, this is where it's going to get fun. Bring this to the side. Bring another one down. But obviously I am going to get another box of these. So I will just basically just do this. Make this one up as a 20-man block, ready to go. So we'll probably just swap over to this one. Bring that one to there. Cool. Line it up. Lined up. That's kind of good. Now for this we might do something a bit different. I might do like the fencing sort of thing, so it's more fencing. But at the same time, I could do it so this gate's a bit bigger, but it won't really tie into everything. So what I'm thinking is I'm thinking fencing. I'm thinking have like the middle section just fencing, like they've broken out of it, sort of thing. So maybe do like do something like that. Let's click that. Or I grab these and use these sections like so. That will work. Do these sections like that. How well do they stand? They still stand pretty good, it looks like it. With the height of that, they're only just a tad bigger. Oh no, they're massively bigger. Like, from flat base, they're the same height. Something I don't want. I want them so you can see over the top. So we may have to go back and do the way I was doing. Just to really sort of like bulk out a bit. But I think if we do, we will do a corner section there like so. Take this piece right here, do a section like that. And then we will do so there's a gap in the middle. And I will grab one of these. Or there's another way we could do it, where we could just do pure fencing and get them glued down. The only issue I have with that is I would need to hot glue them into place to feel, so I'd feel 100% secure with how they're being based. But then at the same time, that's not a bad idea for something like that sort of size. And then we might be able to make something work here. I wouldn't mind having this section as like proper pillars, sort of thing, or like we could remove the pillars from one of these, and do it so there that the Idaho are behind the three, and then we have these guys coming through. That might work. We'll do that method. So it all interlocks into one big thing. So the Idaho will link. These guys will link. I've done 2 Idaho bases at the minute, and they're facing backwards, so it's not too bad. Right. Let's get markings done as normal. We need to get rid of that done. There we go. Which I can now just plop them on like so. Oh dear. What do you mean complimentary? Is it like complementary to what I'm doing, or? Ah. Ooh, that hurt. Ah, I just got stabbed. And I don't even know where that part went. These bloody things here are sharp when you hit them. Quite. Yeah. So don't mind me, people. I'm apparently stabbing myself. Not intentionally. I just want to point out I'm not doing it. Oh, wow. There you go, people. I've now bled. I have just caused myself to bleed in my hand. So now I need sweat and I need tears into this, and then we have all three. Literally just like... That was from one of these spikes. It's just gone right into my hand. As you can see. It's just gone right in and actually bruised the outside. So note to self, people. Be bloody careful when cutting this specific stuff up. And just be careful in general. Oh, I didn't even feel that properly. That must have went in and come back out. Like, wait, is this from this? Well, I've just found a part for it. It was literally right here on this side. And that was what's just gone in my hand. So this point here has basically just gone straight in and come back out. Cool. Now I need to sweat and I need to cry. If I can sweat and cry, then we're good. We have tears, we have sweat, we have blood. And then I can literally turn around and say, Warlander, I put blood, sweat, and tears into this project to beat you. Okay, that I aimed directly at my chest, and I probably should have done that. Oh, that actually hurt. I want to do like my actual IHO and stuff, like proper sort of like graveyard sort of bashing. So it all goes well looking at each other. Well, at least it's a perfect cut. There we go. So we always do like an extra bit on this section. But yeah, if they're going to complement each other, it's going to be really good. I might have to see if we can get some way of like combining them together. But we'll have to get pictures of them as well. If you can get a spinny disc turntable thing, like I've got, like that'd be amazing. Just do like, oh, that actually really hurt people. Like jabbing myself like that. Oh. Like, let's move this stuff to one side. But yeah, so obviously like today we're doing a lot of we're doing this specific army first because one just needs to get done first. The rest of it I can do later on. This is a main priority at the minute. I could technically do that like that. Oh, do I have another one like that? I'm pretty sure I do. Or I could put a long one like so. So they're actually like properly boxed in. Oh, hell yeah. Like when you come over to the UK, we're definitely, me and you, 1,000% are going to Mantic HQ. Like we are, like that is going to be my thing. Like we're both headed down there. We'll have a game. So, right, let's move forward a little bit. Okay, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Like another part like this. So I can sort of like clip it up like so. But that looks really weird. So what I'm probably going to do is grab like a longer piece that doesn't have stuff like that on. Do I have a box we can use? Let's go back in the box, people. See what we got. I'm thinking, because obviously the other ones are tying in, we could put this like this. Or do we go like a 2? I think a 2 would be better. Because the 2 we can put like that. Remove this section just here. Let's just bend that round. I do want to try and keep this coffin as clean cut as possible. Because these are really handy to like use for just random stuff. So like one other thing we're probably going to be doing is doing some objective markers as well. So this like parts here I don't really need as such. So I will put those into here. Even like stuff like this is not useless for like, you can use it for like slabs and stuff like that. Wow, that's actually still bleeding people. Note to self, be careful. So yeah, don't do what I do and be uncare safe when you do clipping like that. Like be careful always when doing this stuff. Because now what we do is we come. Obviously, like you're gonna see like this section of construction, but you won't see the full thing completed because there's still some bits I've got to do, and like some of the gap fill-ins and sort of thing, make it look a bit prettier. So I haven't cut myself with the bloody knife that I thought I was going to. I done it with a piece of a model. That makes it quite amusing. Right, let's do this, and then come across, slide across, like so. And then what I want to do is actually clean this section up as well, just here. Right. But yeah, so we'll have some battle reports and stuff. I will try and get a battle report out a month. It won't be a live one though. So it'll be a pre-recorded one, possibly, or we will do a live one. Maybe, you know what, we'll probably do a live one and then we'll do a non-live one, or something like that. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do that section. See, I'm really feeling it there, but it overhangs a little bit. But at the same time, that'd be quite good there. Right, let's move this to the section just here. Obviously, as well, if you want to see stuff like this being done, it won't be my social medias, but you'll be able to find other stuff in social medias. So you will literally, unfortunately, have to either come here live to watch it, or you'll have to see what we do by the end of it. But you won't see proper pictures or anything yet, because I will save that for like videos where we do like a monthly roundup of all the work we've done. So you can see like our monthly progress, how far we're getting through this stuff, like what we're doing. Because yeah, you'll see a monthly progress sort of thing, but that will be just like, so you guys can see what we've done in the month, how much we've done. Turn that around. Do that like that. Done. Okay, so we can now actually cut this. That stuff. See, even that stuff, it's really thin and flimsy, but it's still really good for scenery sort of stuff. Because you can use it as like broken tiles, debris. There's many things you can do with stuff like that, right? So no part of a model is useless, even when you're doing what I'm doing. Hell, to sprues it even better. Like, we're going to be making some sprue buildings probably along the way. Some old style sort of like cottages and stuff. Then we just want to do that. Grab this section here, just pull, twist. Put it into the cup. Push that way, and twist a bit more, and done. That's actually a pretty good cut. So obviously, like, we don't have any music playing, but obviously when I do when I get it all recorded, when I edit it to go live, there will be some differences. So you have the intro that's slightly different, so that if you're watching it then, you'll notice it, and at the end there'll be something a bit different. But yeah. This, I know that's... So we want to just smooth this out a bit now, just so we can get it nice and flat. So I'm thinking this piece we put probably not on here, because that's a bit, unless we slice about there, pop that in our cup for parts, we put that like that. There is a possibility we can make this work now, because there's not as much on here, but there is. So let's get these 10 on first. See how this looks. As long as I have space to make 5 more, we should be good on here. If not, it's just going to be a 10-man block one. But I'd rather have it as a 15-man block for a regiment, because that's like the largest they can go up to anyway. So it just makes perfect more sense to make it as a regiment one. So in theory, we should be able to do it, in theory. If I position, as long as I position it all right, we should be good. I can go like that. I can go like that. So we're just getting like a rough sort of guide at the minute first before I do anything else. So I want to try and get like some of the ones at the back. Like maybe get one inside the crypt. Or like far down the crypt a little bit. maybe take the bottom of his one off so we can then just start filling it up like so. So we should, in theory, be able to get another 5 in this space just here. I'm pretty sure we can. So I'm not too stressed or worried about that. So I'll probably glue that part section just here down. Because now we know that's definitely going to fit. We should be good to go. Then we'll slide this section just here. Like so. We now want our blue tack, and we want to get this stuff blue tacked into place. Obviously, picture time. So what I'm going to do, so just do that there. I've actually generated a bit more space at the back as well because I haven't put it properly in. What I'm going to do is just grab it from this side and this side, and then pop this one just so. Man down. Do it so they're all getting ready to run out. So they're all like running out sort of system. Some are stood there, just like ready to go. Oh, it's not even a piece of bloody blue tack. I thought that was. Yeah, the demon stuff's really, really nice. I want to get hold of some, personally. I really do. But like, I won't be getting any more King's War stuff, like actual miniatures until like at least March sort of time. Probably around about then. But I'll be picking up like quite a few different bits. Like it'd be like essentially one like starter set each time, fraction set a time. Put them in it. Like, and then next year we'll do some other crazy stuff. Right, and as normal people, we're now going to get the pictures done so I can get the sections. Like, it's not so much done, but then we're going to get a wide picture of the whole set. That's actually looking really good. It all interlocks really well as well, and we'll grab the Idaho bases quickly. But I know I'll be putting another unit of Idaho in here as well. So what we'll do is just move the remaining of our blocks. So we have quite a few of these left. We have quite a like not a lot, but we have like enough to help us. So the Idaho one, that would be like that side. So we need to try and replicate that one. So that will essentially go like so. This one would be actually better that side. So we'll have to adjust this one slightly. I'm not too fussed at adjusting this section just here. Let's move the camera out a bit more. Yeah. So we need to try and adjust this section just here, just a tiny bit, to get it fitting perfect. But we can actually do that now. So that's not too much of an issue. So what we can do is we can just snap that off, turn it around a little bit. So we've got to make it a tiny bit smaller, not too much. Oh yeah, static grouse applicator, definitely. So we actually need to make this a bit smaller. So I think we're gonna need to have to make it about there, I want to say. So there we go, just so we'll see. Oh Christ. So I'm thinking about that sort of size. Oh, look at that, people, spot on, no measurements. Really? Well, obviously I did measure it a little bit, but not really. So I'm quite happy with that. And then we've got to build the next one for the other Idaho for when I get those ones. Okay, you're gonna just fling everyone out, aren't you? So I'm just doing this off camera, people, because I have to put a lot of pressure on. I can't really do that if the position I had it in. At the same time, I'm trying not to slice my hand open again. So also we can put like these parts into our cup. So that we've already got like this sort of cup filled already. These are just random parts we've been clipping that are going to be worth it. There's probably loads of bits on the floor. That pinged off somewhere in this section vicinity, but I don't know where. So we won't worry too much about that. Let's put that there. We'll put that one like so. Obviously that's gone at a bit of an angle. I'm not too fussed about that. I would prefer it to be like swinging down a bit because it just looks a bit odd. So ideally I would have preferred like a piece like this so I can just slap it in like so. That's actually going to be better. Let's do this. Cool. So this whole time I've been listening to like rock music / metal. So it's been actually really nice. Oh, that's gonna be really well with the stuff that I'm doing. Because I'm doing demonic halflings. You know, I'm doing demonic halflings with rogue. So now I just need to bend this. Then that will interlock. And then all I'm going to do is still leave this gap at the back. So it's actually quite a big gap, but I can fill that in. It wouldn't take that long for me to fill it in either. Just a quick 5-minute job, if that. So what we want to do is we want to now bring that to about there so we can lock this up into place. There we go. So let's bring this forward a bit so people can see what we're doing. So we're actually interlocking this whole set at the minute. And then I'm probably going to do it so the foot infantry, the basic foot infantry and the horses are going to be going through like this section, so like the front part. So it'd be like all the like farms and stuff like that. And then what I'll also do is take like a few actual these actual bottom parts and make some buildings on them, so it all can fit into like a nice little block. Now you can sort of like just do it as a display piece as well, so it'll all be displayed sort of standard. So you'll have all this sort of stuff all painted up, but then you'll have like a few buildings around the sides, like a river part at the front where the horses and stuff are coming over, and stuff like that. And do some like really funky sort of stuff like farmland. So you make some reaves up again, some corn, stuff like that, and just really like push this multi-base into the next level, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be showing people how to do all this sort of stuff. And really pushing it all and like making a diorama at the same time. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Now, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to grab the IO and we're actually going to start blue tacking it down so people can see like how we're doing and what we've done today so far. So I'm going to remember how all this went, but it's not too much of an issue because it wouldn't be that hard to figure it out later down the line. So we'll put that one like so. We do not want that one because that has a part on. That has a part on, so we don't need that one. So we need these ones. These ones. So, right. Do any of these still have the blue tack on? Yes, we have one that still does. So we want 5 of these guys on one of these. And then we'll get like a picture of it all together as well. I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing a few. And I was like looking inside of me. And I was like, no, it is. So I'll put him about there. I could technically get 6 on here, on each one. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is just get a full block of 6 on each one. Because it would not be that difficult because of how I've done the basin. Obviously, it makes it a bit easier if I put 5, because it means I've got more room to fancy about. But at the same time, it's not too much of an issue. There's enough space and everything on here for me to work that stuff out. So we can pop, obviously, the next Idaho dude right. We'll probably pop him about. We'll pop him there like so. So we've got 2. We've got like the 3 at the front, 3 at the back, sort of regiment sort of style. Obviously, I will be taking a picture of this tonight as well. Oh yeah. Which ones? Is that the Empire Dust Skeletons by any chance? So if it is, then yeah, they've done some really nice work on that. Like the new Empire Dust stuff is, I'm sorry, just like fucking hands down gorgeous. Especially they're redoing all the sculpts, and like they've upped the sizes on a few of them, the models as well. That makes it even better. So obviously we're going to be working on next section of this we're going to work on is this corner just here. I will have another Idaho squad that would go there once I got some more Idaho. Yeah, the Empire Dust stuff is just so nice. The models, just this whole sort of like the fact that updating the sculpts, making them proper size. The horseback riders, the brand new models for them. Yes, I'll take 100 of those. They are so nice. Yeah, I've literally made this so you can actually get like a full 6-man unit on here. So I can get a full regiment on these basins. But we are going to work on the next section. That will be another Idaho area. So I will basically leave this up now as this. And then we'll start building and building upwards. So we can obviously at the same time keep an eye on it all. And stuff like that, and we can make sure we get all the sizings right. I don't normally do this sort of stuff, so this is really my first time like doing multi-basin. But I want to get it so all interlocked, so it looks really nice on the board. So we will be doing that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our next piece. We want it so it's somewhat flat, because it's going to be a lot easier to work with for this sort of spot. So what we're going to do is just move all of the shavings out of the way. We're then going to slide this piece in, just like so. Clear the bottom section. Do this like this, this like this. Move this to the side, because obviously we've got so much of this stuff now. So this bit I don't mind doing, keeping like that, because I can work with that section, because I can just bring that back out like so. Ideally, I need to have it dropped a bit. So we will probably use this part I've already pre-cut to go something like there. And then we will have it so it goes into the pillar at an angle. So I still need to modify it slightly, but it won't need as much modify. Right, so we'll get this section just here, like so. Then we'll use the outer section as the one with the dirt. So I need to cut this about here, apparently. So we want to cut it about there. Cut this part as well at the same sort of section. And then we can use the next part to sort of like. So I definitely need this section. The top section we'll still keep hold of because that will come in handiness. Oh Christ! Right, bear with me, people. I'm just gonna do this bit off camera quickly. So you get to see the display we've done so far. That, you know what? I'm really fucking happy. Really happy with. I do apologise about dropping that again. I keep doing that. I keep forgetting I'm live in some sense. So yeah, it's a bit janky, we'll call it. But I can work with this. I can work with this. We can work with this, people. We can work with this. So I can do this. Cut that section just like so. Cut that section like so. Because essentially this part goes into like a full sort of like wall section. So we can do that like that. I need some corner pieces. I don't have any on me. This precise sort of minute. So I think they're still in the box. I know we have a few pieces of corner. So we're going to see what we can find in our box. Bingo, corner piece. So we need to now bring that to about there. The only issue is we need something that's the same sort of height as that the whole way through. Because otherwise it's going to be really awkward. It's not going to be really that great. That's not going to work. So we'll probably do it so it hits that section, like so. And then we can just figure a way from there. So we can do that, and we want the small section facing that way. And then what we want to do is we want to sort of bring... this is going to be really difficult. I'm not even going to say to people it's not going to be. It's going to be very difficult. So we can't use that piece. So we'll just have to sort of do it like this. Why is that doing that? That's pretty much... oh, I know why. It's because of, obviously, this has a slight... nope, it's actually that. It's being a silly bugger. All these little parts here that I didn't cut off properly. So it was sticking down. Just being a bit of an ass. So we'll do that section like so. I want it to be in a corner, so it just looks a lot better. So I might need to figure out, obviously, how much of this needs to go. So price needs to go to the bend section. So just there. So this is where we want it. So we've got it now starting to get cut, so we can go on the other set. As you can see, and just cut straight down. But what we're going to do is we're also going to cut into my jumper, so this will be an off-camera bit. But we are actually going to save these chunks, and I've just super glued it to my hand, almost. I just forgot to have super glue on the bottom of this. And it wasn't dry. So, fun fact, people, remember when you super glue stuff. And if you don't, well, you're going to end up like doing what I just did. Where you end up with super glue across your hand. Right. Come on. Be nice to me and don't bloody cut me this time. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're now going to just come along here. Just snip this section just here. Right, just use a desk. If you have a good sturdy desk, this is like a really good tip. I would advise it, but for me it really helps. Just put that extra little bit of pressure on. Right now we want to move this away from the camera, well, my monitor, so when we take it off, just in case it pinged. Oh, Christ. Alright. There we go. Now I've actually got another super glue just along this section just here, so you can actually see it. Alright, let's get some of this off. Like, I think I just busted my clippers as well. It's not too much of an issue, but like, yeah, I really super glued my bloody hand here. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can work with this. Mind you, these seeds are opening and closing a bit, and I just touched the bottom again. Right, let's go this way. I'd rather like stab myself with this stuff than glue super glue myself. So this part will now basically let's put some more super glue on and actually glue it to the base where I glue my hand bloody close. So that can go there like that. That should be enough to physically like interlock it. Yeah, we're good, but we're not too. So we're good, but it's not perfect. But that's like this is just gonna be like even the bits we're not perfect with, I can go along later down the line and do some more stuff to it. Then obviously we can get it all primed, we can get it ready to go. It will go on the side, and then we can get it all sorted. I've got somehow because I touched it the way I touched it, I've got super glue in between my fingers. So it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So I'm currently now just peeling super glue off me because it's just something I do. I try and get a little bit off before I carry on just to make it a bit easier, especially if I've got it on my hand because it just makes it just a tad easier just to move my hand about a bit. Like, you know you've got super glue when you're pulling off chunks like that. So yeah, super glue is great for cuts. Like, I just wouldn't recommend deciding to super glue yourself together or touch something that's had super glue on and grab it in a specific way where you know you've already super glued it, like I just did. So be careful with what you touch, people, when you use super glue, because you end up with like you can actually see it on my hand, just about. So we'll get that part spot on there. So we've now just got to build this back section up. We might be able to do it pretty easily, depending on what I do. Like this is a very, very janky sort of like put together. But once it's all done and I've done the parts I need to do, then we should be good to go. So hopefully we can get it done pretty soon. Like I do apologize, people. I'm literally just currently just trying to get some more super glue off me because it's really restricting my hand a little bit. Okay, we should be good with what I got off at this current minute. Unless it wants to let me get some more off. That apparently it wants to come off my hand now. Okay, now it doesn't. Now it's just being an ass. Right. We need to find a base now. I know that this piece is. Oh, you bugger. But if I do that, followed by that, like cut that down a bit. If I can find another piece like that, we should be good. There we go. So I can literally use this and use that section. I would have to cut that pillar section off on this one and cut the rest of this away, but we should be good. There we go. I'm pretty sure this was the part I was going to use. Yeah. Like. Use this, pick these sets. Come on, don't be an ass. You were working nicely earlier, thank you. So what we're going to do is do that. Put that into that box. My plan is to at least get this whole section done tonight. So, because obviously, I don't want to get too late because we're only meant to be doing a few hours. I know I've missed a few. But if I do like 3 hours this time, 3 hours next time, covers us for this month. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're short by 2 hours this month will be. But next week, I don't have to worry too much. I won't be doing a late one. Like it is now, obviously for people in the UK, and yeah. It won't be so much of a late one, the next one, because I don't think anything's happening. So I think it will just be just a day where I just do a few hours in the morning, in the afternoon sort of thing, and then I will do some more in the evening sort of thing. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to that. So I now need to remove... Okay, so I need to move this section just here now. And then we can connect the two parts together. Oh, Christ, no, don't go in there. Thank you. I need that out. Bloody super glue falling in the box now. So we're basically also prepping this for future models we add to the army. So we will be adding another set of Idaho. Right, there we go. So these parts now, I'm not too fussed if I break and kill, because I kind of just need it off. I'm hoping as well next time I have the Dremel done, I can actually work with this stuff a lot better. Yeah, I will have to obviously mute the mic, but like literally, look, I'm literally trying to do this on the desk. Right. Do this one. Really what we want to do is we now want to go like this. And do this. Right, there we go. Let's get this section out. Oh Christ. What's a snap that in? There we go. Now this is the most lengthiest process, it's just doing this stuff. But we're slowly cutting away. Pause. I think what I might do is just do this section just like this. Just cut a little bit like that. Come on. Be nice to me, please. Oh, Christ. This is like the most time-consuming part. Is basing's one of those ones where it's not time-consuming if you're just doing some of the simple ones, but I'm trying to interlock it all so it all just stands out and just looks really cool. So for me, this is just taking a bit longer. If I had my Dremel, I'd be done by it. I would have done the entire army. Interlocks. I could have interlocked the whole army pretty much. And got it all smooth and everything. But obviously I don't have my Dremel because I can't take the part off that's on it in a minute. So I'm having to resort to clippers. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad way to do it. Because it makes it really jagged and stuff, but when I want something nice and smooth to precision, I kind of need something like a Dremel to do that with. Because the clippers aren't the best to be working with that sort of stuff. So like, this is, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this, doing it with the clippers, but at the same time I'd rather have my bloody Dremel up and running. I don't even know where that went, but that went somewhere near my head. Right. Okay. There we go. Then we can get the top section. There we go, people. It's taken us about 5 minutes probably to do this one little section. But it'll be worth it, I promise. Like, once this last section there is done, it will be so worth it. It'll be so worth it by the time we've got this. Right. Yeah, get off. Right, and what we want to do now is just start smoothing this out a bit now. At least somewhat of a smooth surface. I'm not too fussed if it's not perfect. But at least get it somewhat smooth. So, like, even if it's just a little crack in it, I'm not too fussed about that because of how it's going down on placement anyway. So I need to remove this section just here. Right. Oh, I need that set like that. Right, what we'll do is, once we've got this bit glued on, we will be calling it there for this stream, because this is a 3.5 hour stream. I'm quite happy with that, despite missing a couple of weekends. So we will be going from there. Obviously, thank you for the people that did turn up. It's really appreciated. Like, obviously there will be pictures of the stuff, but it will all be done in like a video sort of style sort of thing. I need to clip that even more. Bugger. So we'll do that off stream. But yeah, so thank you to everyone that came today. It's been really good having people here talking. And we'll see everyone next Saturday on the next one, on the second boot camp stream, live stream. Also, I'll put links down in the description of social medias, Twitches, all the other people that work with us. But yeah, so yeah, we got quite a lot done today. I got a few. I got 8 of these done today, so it's not too bad. So yeah, I will see everyone on Saturday. Obviously, Warlander, I'll speak to you soon. Like, because I'll probably be hopping in stuff. But yeah, I'll see everyone's see everyone next week. Thank you for the drop by. And yeah, we will be re-uploading this. So if you did miss it live, you can watch it again, as you possibly will be at this stage. But yeah, so we'll see everyone on Saturday next week. So yeah, have fun, everyone.